He is very much someone who wants to be completely alone, and yet he has become the most famous person in the state of Maine. It is ironic.
27 years ago he went into the woods. He didn't really have a plan, guess he did it 'cause he could. He was only 19, didn't know he'd stay that long. He came to think of the woods of Maine as the place that he belonged. You and I will never know what the North Pond Hermit knows, what it's like to sleep outside when it's 25 below.
For more than 20 years, the story of Maine's North Pond Hermit was little more than local lore. Items disappeared from cabins and camps with such regularity that residents began to detect personal preferences among the missing items. But there was never a culprit.
Peanut butter, he loved peanut butter. Didn't like tuna fish, he never take the tuna fish.
One family discovered that he didn't like a particular kind of meat. He always left that behind.
When he broke in, you can see here, the police have been here and they've checked this, and he got some rain gear, propane tanks, batteries. He loved batteries.
Last year, surveillance photos captured a face of a man who became known as the backpack burglar, but no one could identify him. Then, in April, Maine police arrested a man breaking into a freezer at a place they'd rigged with motion sensors, and what they learned next amazed them.
Wow, it's surreal. He is surreal. The situation's surreal.
According to Maine police, Christopher Knight, age 47, confessed to 1,000 burglaries over a span of 27 years that he says he camped out alone in the woods.
At first it was like, wow, this is amazing, I can't believe this. But after spending as much time with him and actually seeing the campsite, there's no question in my mind that he's been living out there for 27 years. No question whatsoever. How, the ropes are grown into trees. I mean, there was books marked from 1990 that he had underneath the tent. The year he remembered that he walked off was, he said it was the year the Chernobyl accident happened. He was up to date on current events. I mean, he even knows who the Kardashians are because he listened. That made me laugh one day. He mentioned the Kardashians, and I kind of looked at him and he said, I keep up. He reads People magazine. It was all current.
News of Mr. Knight's story spread quickly. Soon, a local deli had a sandwich named after him. A documentary film crew arrived from New York, and people around the world sent him bail money and even a marriage proposal.
As soon as this story hit, I ran for my guitar. He'd slip into an empty camp through a window or a door. He just took what he needed to survive and nothing more. He never built a fire, he was afraid it would be seen. How he kept alive in winter is a mystery to me. You and I will never know what the North Pond Hermit knows. We drive around, go to jobs, and stay home when it snows. At first, I was very, very empathetic toward him, and there's something, I'm impressed with what he did. I'm not interested in seeing him suffer, A lot of us dream about this kind of thing, going off and live in the woods.
But for his victims around North Pond, this outpouring of empathy and fascination for Mr. Knight overlooks the decades he spent treating their cabins as his personal pantry.
But yeah, everything he had other than the glasses on his face were stolen.
And he hit this place. He admitted to 46 times, robbing it on average of twice a year since 1990.
So it got to be kind of a game, but it really wasn't funny for those of us who felt vulnerable. And I never, ever stayed overnight there because I was uncomfortable knowing that somebody was out there.
For the time being, Mr. Knight remains in a Kennebec County jail cell with 6 other men. An indictment is pending an evaluation of his mental health.
The victims in this case have the same range that the public as a whole has. So there are people who don't see any need for jail time. There are people who think that life imprisonment is appropriate.
Oh, were you camp owners?
Yes. Yes.
On a day in early May, North Pond residents went to police barracks in Skowhegan to reclaim stolen items. Dave Proul came away with his cooler and a raincoat.
Yeah, even got my name written right on it. If you admit to 1,000 burglaries, then yeah, you should spend a good amount of time in jail. Not because he's a hermit, because he's a thief. That's my thought on it. People can feel bad for him. They can write songs about him. Probably he'll make money at the end of this, who knows?
No, we don't know what the North Pond Hermit